Okay, I want to start this out with a video I took back in November, opening day of hunting season. Uh, people talk about portals, Bigfoot turning invisible, all these things. I'm going to put forth a theory, one that I have observed by myself and with other supporting evidence, I guess you could call it. But early that morning, I went out and I got this on video.
Down there.
This was a live video. I had been whooped at that morning. And the whoop came from up on the hillside. But look at this right here. Not much definition, not a very good day for FLIR. Good morning for FLIR. But there it is. So I sat up in my blind, my boogering shack, and kept looking over there with the FLIR. All that morning, kept looking over there. It was, whenever I got there, it was starting to get first light. And first light just means that it's brightening in the sky. There's a gray tone to the sky. It was also a gloomy day. Storm coming in, and yeah. Actually, I think I've got a picture of the first light, but anyway, doesn't matter. As I sat there in my blind and kept looking with the FLIR, had all the windows open on the shack. I've got windows on each side, and mostly I face out towards the holler that opens up in front of me. So as I'm sitting there watching, I look over with the FLIR, and I've been doing this for like an hour, almost an hour, looking for deer coming in or whatever you really couldn't see. But it started getting light enough to see. I looked over with my FLIR, the thing that I had watched before. I had closed the windows down on the shack, and I left one open, a crack over here, and one open, a crack over here. The front window I could see really good out of. The other two windows not so good. And I looked over at that thing, and it was moving. So I dropped that, grabbed my binoculars, and said, "What in the heck is going on here?" Looked, and this thing is standing up. All right, it was a booger. It was standing up, and it was covered with leaves and twigs, like not completely covered, but enough to really conceal it. That thing had sat there for, like I said, about an hour, and it was definitely below freezing. We had a cold snap come in here, like the coldest it's been this winter. Definitely below freezing, but it had laid there, and I had looked with the FLIR. It was getting daylight. I had my binoculars out, looking around, even the scope of my gun out, looking around. But I dropped the FLIR whenever I got up. I wished I would have just recorded on the FLIR because the next series of events was very exciting, and I really dropped the ball. It's kind of embarrassing. I really haven't told anybody about this until tonight because things have been coming together for me here, and got me to thinking. Like this video here, one I just released the other day. These bare spots on the ground underneath these rock ledges, I think have something to do with it too. The bare spots up on my heel. Uh, what I'm thinking is, these things aren't disappearing. They're not going through a portal, anything like this. I'm firmly in the camp that they are flesh and blood. They're not some kind of magical creature. I'm not saying this to make anybody mad. I'm just saying this is a alternative theory. Uh, these bare spots on the ground here is where they lay up, and all these leaves and stuff are getting caught in their hair. I mean, my dog does this. She gets leaves and stuff caught in her hair. But this thing, whenever it just stood up, started walking away. I'm looking at it with binoculars. I realized my phone's right here. I grab my phone, look back, and it's gone, completely gone. But I watched it for a good 10 seconds with the binoculars, and it was it was definitely a booger. Um, and I think what they do is they lay down, they get these leaves caught up in their hair. This thing had leaves, sticks, all kinds of stuff caught up in its hair. And if something is steel, for instance, this picture right here, this was right underneath of me, and look at this picture here. Can you see anything in it? right up underneath me. Same rock I was talking about just now. It's hard to see anything in it, but there is something there. There it is, a deer, a buck. If it wasn't for this and the white on its nose, that thing, they blend in. These creatures blend in. Squirrels, if they stay still on a tree, they'll blend in. Deer, if they're still, you can be watching a deer, take your eyes off of it, and have a hard time, even though you know where it's at, have a hard time locating it. I've got a ghillie suit, and whenever I walk through the woods in my ghillie suit, stuff just gets clung to it. Like if I was to sit right here, I'd get up. Maybe not like this, but if something had bedded down here all night, and you look at these places, the human observation post I have up here, there's a couple on this side of the hill. Underneath those, everything's bare. So I think this is why folks is thinking they're disappearing. This thing stayed still in freezing weather for over an hour. Because I kept watching, I was watching around. I had my FLIR until I got light enough to see with binoculars, and I just kept watching around me on all sides except for directly behind me. Basically, the wind blows up. I hunt the wind a lot. A lot of people try to cover their scent up, which is a totally different thing. Boogers, I think they've got really good sense of smell too. But anyway, the whoop that I heard had come up from behind me. That one was down on the ground, and I filmed it with the thermal. I got back in. It might even still be on the thermal. I'm gonna look. And the video I took, I might go back and look at it. The video I did take some video with the phone. I never did see it again. There's also a gully there, but it stayed still the whole time. All right. Whenever it got up, it had leaves and sticks all in it. I'm mentioning this, like I said, this happened back in November, and I've looked and looked, and I haven't seen anybody else talk about this. However, the Cherokee would talk about, they would call them the Stonish Giants, and what those boogers would do was take mud and cover themselves with mud and blend right in. So they're masters of their environment. They're not, like I said, I think they're just another creation. I mean, I know they're another creation. Everything's created, but they're just masters of their environment. There's nothing, they're super fast. Trust me, they're super fast. Now that I'm kind of putting all this together now, and I'm gonna go back through some of my other videos, like the ones where I had the sighting and film. There might be something in that. People's told me there's stuff in videos that I've looked and I really don't know. But now that I know that, hey, look for something that's already, it already blends in. I think there's something to do with their hair. Plus, it's got all this leaves and leaf litter and other forest materials clung to its fur. This one, like I said, wasn't completely covered. Not like it didn't look like Leaf Man or anything like that, but it did have leaves all attached to it. And here we go. So I just figured I'd put it out there. Hopefully, it helps some folks and let you know what to look for. I mean, it's so common sense that I kind of kick myself for not figuring this out earlier. I mean, I have said stuff similar to this, but not this exactly. So there you go. That's all I got for now. Everybody have a good week, and God bless.